Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're reading Am I the A-Hole stories that are infuriating, concerning, and all around a whole bunch of fun. Before we start the episode, if you could like the video and subscribe if you want to, that would be amazing. And let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Jin chewed on my microphone cord. I'm hoping it still sounds okay. He's such a little demon. Okay, post number 1. My boyfriend refuses to buy me female products, pads, and now I'm upset. I'll make it short and sweet. Me, female 25, and my boyfriend 28 have been dating for over 3 years. Yesterday we had a conversation through text about him going to the supermarket to get pasta because we were having people over and I was gonna cook. Mind you, he gets out of work before me and the supermarket is 3 minutes away from home. Everything was fine until I got my period right after I was about to leave my job and go home. So I texted him to please grab some pads for me, and his answer was, I'm not doing that. Then I said, I'm going home. They're on the personal hygiene aisle. I need them. His answer, so go get them. And I replied, aren't you going to the store? He said, yeah, ... So I replied, I'm telling you to please get it for me. And his answer was, I said I'm not doing that, but you keep on asking. And I ended the conversation by saying, okay, thanks. Then he said that we shouldn't have people over tonight, which made me more upset. Okay, hold on a second. This guy is 28. He's acting like a child. I ended up getting them myself while having pain and a bunch of toilet paper wrapped around my panties to not make a mess. I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If he feels uncomfortable, he could have said, I'm sorry, but that makes me uncomfortable, so I won't be able to do so. And then I could say it with a different perspective. However, he's 28, and I think it's a very immature thing to be embarrassed about. Yeah, for sure. And before you ask, this was my second time asking him. The first time he got it for me, no problem, but we were living at his mum's house, which she used to do everything for him. So at this point, I think she was the one who got it. Please help with an advice. Yeah, I know what the advice is going to be. Like, that is so unbelievably embarrassing to be a 28-year-old man that's too scared to buy some pads. Grow up, dude. Oh my God. And also on top of that, to put him being embarrassed about it above his girlfriend really needing them. Like, I imagine in this situation, if you felt like OP's boyfriend and for whatever reason this really embarrassed you to do this, you would still be like, okay, I know this embarrasses me, but I'm gonna put that to the side and I'm gonna get them anyway because my girlfriend needs them. But for him to be like, no, I'm not getting them. I already know what the comments are gonna say. Edit, huge thank you for all your feedback. I'd like to add an anecdote. 2.5 years he had a horrible accident while skiing, fractured his right leg and dislocated his left shoulder so that he couldn't move at all, or shower and even pee or poop. Guess who helped him? Me. Wait, so you wiped his butt for him, but he won't even buy you pads? Come on. I would expect him to do the same for me, but not being able to do this little thing for me might honestly be a deal breaker. Call me dramatic, I don't care. No, I agree, OP. Like, all of this is so ridiculous. Edit number 2, we had a conversation last night, a very long one, and I said everything I needed to say, including reading those text messages out loud to him, and he was in any way defensive. He called himself an a-hole and recognized that what he said was pretty messed up. Here's a breakdown of his answers. His vapes ran out, so he warned me in the morning about nicotine withdrawal. So he said that he was dealing with that all day and made him be irritated. He said the supermarket that he went to was a small Italian supermarket and they didn't have personal hygiene products. He said his mother never talked to him about this stuff. He had a past relationship, but it was a short one. And he said that he was never asked to get this before. He said, I didn't know that it was an emergency. Otherwise, I would have got it for you without hesitation. He also admitted that he's not embarrassed, but he feels social anxiety. Then I explained that there's a self-checkout. He said that last time that I asked him to get me pads, and he was at BJ's, and even though it was his first time, I sent him pictures of what I needed. He felt anxious, but since I said it was an emergency, he got it anyway. Background for those who ask, he does not have sisters. For the first 2 years, including a break of 8 months apart, he was living at his mum's house. Fast forward and I ended up moving there as well, and it was great for like a month, but then things changed and I ended up moving out with a few cousins. He then, a month after that, leaves his mum's house and moves in with me and my cousins. Everything goes well, but we're looking forward to moving out and just being the two of us. We finally moved out December 28th, and we've been living together for only a month. So for those telling me to break up, yeah, I told him to break up. However, here's my situation now. I don't have a close family here, but I've got friends that offer me to stay at their living room. I already gave him the money for the rent. He begged me to stay and to work things out since we only just moved in together, and it's what both of us wanted. I've got a full-time job, but I really don't have enough savings to rent by myself again because rent is so expensive and they want 3 months in advance. He does help me around the house by cleaning and cooking, so I don't do everything myself. He said that he would not put me in a position where I'd be struggling because of his actions. He'd rather sleep on the couch than me leaving. He said that he would work on himself and we can take a break if I want to because he respects my boundaries, but he asked me to please not leave anywhere. However, he does understand that if I do leave, I'm not coming back. What are your thoughts? I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, the top comment. Wait, you wiped his ass when he was injured, and he's too embarrassed to buy you pads at the grocery store. Girl, it's time to dump him. And OP said, yep. And the response to that one says, girl, no, is he embarrassed to buy toilet paper too? This is a child, not a man. What the hell? Seriously, at 28 years old, if a man can't go buy pads or tampons, then they can't be counted on when life gets real. Just a run, please. It does not get better from here, I promise. Yeah, and the second top comment, somebody who's not adult enough to buy something as trivial as pads or tampons is not adult enough to be in a relationship. Yeah, and what's embarrassing about it? Like, what's scary about buying some pads or tampons? The people who see you buying them aren't gonna think anything about it. Like, what is there to worry about? The comment below that one says, I'd been with my boyfriend for 6 months when I asked him to please buy me some tampons on his way to my apartment. He called me 20 minutes later in a panic saying, why are there so many? What can be so different? And why are they so expensive? Did you know that they were that expensive? I'm gonna FaceTime you so you can tell me what flavor you need. 6 years later, and he proudly tells people that he knows what brand I need when we talk about him buying them for me, which he often does since he shops more than I do. Your boyfriend is an ass, not the a-hole. Yeah, what a way to start the episode. Okay, moving on to post number 2. Am I the a-hole for humiliating my friend after he kept on bragging about his IQ? So I've got a friend, let's call him Brian, who won't shut up about his IQ. Ever since he took some online test that said that he got 131, he's been acting like he's the second coming of Einstein. Oh, that's so frustrating. Some online test, it probably doesn't even mean anything. At first, it was kind of annoying. He'd drop random fun facts about how high IQ people process information different. He started using words like erudite and obfuscate in normal conversations, but then it got worse. He started low-key insulting us. He told our friend Emily, who's in med school, that doctors are just good at memorization, not real intelligent. He told me that I was wasting potential because I work in marketing instead of something more intellectually rigorous. Dude works in IT at a help desk. Anyway, last week we were at a party and he started talking about IQ again. Someone jokingly asked, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? And Brian, completely serious, goes, well, intelligence isn't always about wealth. It's about how you process the world. Low IQ people can never truly grasp how limiting their perception is. So I looked him dead in the eyes and said, damn bro, that's crazy. What's it like having a high IQ and still losing at fantasy football every year? The room exploded, Brian turned red and mumbled something about variance and sample sizes, and then left the party early. Now he's barely texting in the group chat, and a mutual friend told me that I embarrassed him too much. And now naturally half the group has been testing their IQs just to mess with him. Somebody dropped this 10-minute Cerebrum IQ test in the chat, and it's become a full-blown competition. If Brian was really a genius, you'd think that he'd take it again and prove us all wrong. But no, suddenly he's not a fan of online tests anymore. Am I the gay Hoffer finally saying something? Or did he have it coming? Oh, stuff like this is so annoying. Oh, my IQ is so high. And all the humble bragging. Nobody actually cares. And I feel like most of the people who do actually care about IQ only care about it because they want to brag about it. You could take a free IQ test on the internet and have it say that you're a genius, and that doesn't mean anything. Like, wait, you're a genius, but you're not smart enough to know that the online test probably just spat out some random number? Yeah, like this comment says, those 10-minute online tests always crank out 131 to get people to buy the full test. It's literally a scam that somebody with an 131 IQ should be able to see through. Yeah, and the comment below that one says, my IQ, tested at an academic center, is 148, and guess what? Sometimes I'm dumb, because there are different types of intelligence, and the 131 score makes him gifted, not a genius. He would know that if he was smart. Okay, moving on to post number 3. Am I the gay Hoffer feeling betrayed after my wife hid that she could never have kids until years into our marriage? I, 34 male, met my wife, 33 female, about 10 years ago. From the very beginning, I knew that she was special. We clicked instantly, same sense of humor, same life goals, or so I thought, and just an overwhelming feeling of this is the person that I want to build a life with. As we dated, I made it very clear that I've always wanted a family. I wasn't pushy about it, but I talked about how I looked forward to being a dad one day, how I wanted to raise kids and create a loving home together. She never gave any indication that she didn't want that too. She would smile, nod, and sometimes even talk about what kind of parent she thought she'd be. Fast forward a few years and we get married. It was the happiest day of my life. I love this woman with my whole heart, and I truly believe that we were on the same page about everything that mattered. Then a few years into our marriage, we started talking more seriously about trying for kids. That's when she finally drops the bombshell. She has known since before we even met that she has a medical condition that makes it impossible for her to conceive. Not unlikely, not difficult, impossible. And she never told you that? Nah, that's wild. I was stunned. It wasn't even just that she couldn't have kids, it was that she knew all along and she never told me. Not when we were dating, not when I expressed over and over how much I wanted children, not before we got married. When I asked her why she never told me, she just said that she didn't want to lose me and hoped that by the time we got to this point, I'd love her enough that it wouldn't matter. She also admitted that she was scared that I'd leave if I knew, and now I don't even know how to feel. I loved her, but I can't shake this overwhelming feeling of betrayal. This wasn't some small omission. She took away my ability to make an informed decision about my future. She knew this was a deal breaker for me and lied by omission. I feel trapped. I feel cheated. And worst of all, I don't know what to do next. Reddit, what would you do? The top comment says she only cared about protecting herself, and you should do the same. The comment below that one says not the a-hole. Even if you had loved her enough, it wouldn't matter. She's completely misrepresented the person that you fell in love with. Not just about the kids, but that she could carry on a multi-year lie without even batting an eyelash. What else is she lying about? The comment below that one says you should leave her. She betrayed you, strung you along for her own selfish wants. She completely dismissed your feelings and made you look like an idiot. Sorry. She knew this was important to you but still doesn't care because she got what she wanted. How can you ever trust her now? A relationship without trust is nothing. Not the a-hole. OP responded and said, I've sent a lot of replies saying that I should leave her, and honestly part of me agrees. I feel completely betrayed and trust is such a big deal to me. But I also don't want to condemn her for something that she couldn't control, her medical condition. The issue is more that she never really talked about wanting to have kids either. It's not just about the kids, it's about the fact that she hid something so important from me. I care about her deeply, but I don't know if I can move past this. I'm leaning towards leaving because I am struggling to see how we could rebuild trust after this. And the comment responding to that one says, don't want to condemn her for something out of her control, her medical condition. She had full control whether she led you on about this or not, and she had full control over continuing for years to string you along for her benefit. Yeah, that's so wild. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And moving on to post number 4. Am I the a-hole for refusing to cover for my sister's affair when her husband confronted me? My sister, 32 female, has been married to her husband, 35 male, for 6 years. We've always been close, but recently she confided in me that she's been having an affair with her co-worker. She claimed that her marriage had been on the rocks and begged me not to tell anybody. Fast forward to last weekend, her husband showed up at my place out of nowhere, visibly upset. He told me that he found some suspicious texts and asked if I knew anything. I panicked and said, you should probably talk to her. That must have been a dead giveaway because he stormed off. And now my sister's furious. She says that I basically confirmed the affair by being cagey and that I ruined her life. Oh my god. Oh, I love when cheaters say that other people ruined their life. Like, you're the one who cheated. You ruined everything. That's so ridiculous. I told her that I wasn't going to lie for her and that this mess was her responsibility. Yeah, responsibility is something that cheaters have never even heard about. My parents think that I should have done more to protect her. Why? But I feel like she put me in an impossible situation. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. And like this comment says, I love how cheaters say that other people ruin their life by exposing their affair. That's so messed up. Cheaters are the ones who ruin their own life. Nobody else is responsible. Yeah, like it's OP's fault that you cheated. Get out of here. And the comment above that one says, not the a-hole. It's not like you told him that she's cheating. She's displacing her guilt and humiliation into anger towards you. She had no right to put that burden on you to begin with. Yeah, I can't believe how every single post that we read about somebody who had an affair, they blame everybody else but themselves. Like, wait, you mean I did something wrong? No, that's not even possible. And even in a situation like this one where they're not necessarily blaming OP completely. Wait, no, but they said that OP ruined their life, didn't they? Yeah, they said that OP ruined their life. Okay, so yeah, they are blaming them. But yeah, it's so unfair that they put OP in this situation. And OP didn't know what to say, so OP said that you should go and talk to her. Like, OP didn't do anything wrong. It's the same thing that we read about every single time in a story like this one. They get super angry that their partner is sort of catching on to what they're doing, and then they put that anger onto everybody else around them and blame other people for ruining their life when they were the only person who ruined their life. It's so insufferable. Okay, moving on to post number 5. Am I the a-hole for calling the cops on my dad's wife after she slapped my brother? My dad cheated on my mum with his wife and broke up our family when my brother 17 was 8 and I 15 was 6. They got married 2 days after the divorce was finished and my parents fought over custody. We always knew about the cheating and what that woman was and what our dad was. We never had a good relationship with them or the kids they had together. When we were 12, we each got permission to see Dad only every other weekend instead of every other week like we had. We still have to go to his house every other weekend even though my brother's 17 now. It's dumb, but whatever. We were at Dad's house last weekend when my dad's wife found out that he was cheating on her and he got the other woman pregnant. It was crazy. She was crying and Dad went to hide in the garage most of the weekend that we were there. She was trying to get us to feel bad for her, but we didn't, and we stayed out of her way. When my brother got home from work, she tried talking to him and he told her to f off. She was talking about being through enough and how she'd been good to us and we could at least be nice to her. She got extra annoyed when her kids heard them fighting about her and Dad having the affair to start with. Then my brother said that she was always just a in our eyes and a who destroyed our family. She slapped my brother after he said that. I saw it and so did the other kids. I called the cops and I told them that she'd hit my brother. My dad had to come out of the garage because of it and we got to go home. My brother said that he was pressing charges for it. Dad was angry because he got a lot of crap from his wife's family. The kids were with her family for a few days and she's there too. She showed up and yelled at my mum for what my brother and I did, but she focused a lot on me and how I called the cops and risked her kids getting taken away. My mum called the cops on her for showing up after she slapped my brother. It's a whole messy thing. Am I the a-hole for calling the cops? It looks like she could lose her kids if she does keep coming to our house. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Your dad's wife completely overreacted to what your brother said, and she definitely deserved it for having an affair with your father many years ago. And you know what they say? Karma's a bitch. And the response to that one says, that's right. If she can't handle a verbal argument without resorting to violence, she has no business being around kids. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. You rock for defending your brother. She had no right to put hands on your brother, especially not for telling the truth. Besides, what did she think? That she was the only one that he had? Once a cheater, always a cheater. And somebody responded saying, yeah, that whole he cheated with me, but won't cheat on me mentality. The comment below that one says, so she didn't like her karma. It's so funny how they react when the same thing happens to them. They act like complete victims, like they didn't do the exact same. And OP responded, she didn't. And she didn't like it being pointed out that she was the other woman before. Yeah, cheats with somebody and sees their entire family get broken up, and then the person they cheated with cheats on them. And they're like, oh my god, this is so awful. How could somebody ever do this? The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. You witnessed domestic violence and reported it. On the comedic side, oh no, I married somebody who left their wife for me, and I expected different treatment. Lol, what did she think was gonna happen? And OP said she thought that we'd all be a family and that she'd be special and different and loved by all. I don't think Dad ever loved her or anybody but himself, and we never loved her either. We hated the two of them. Okay, moving on to post number 6. Am I the a-hole for telling the truth about why I ended my engagement to my ex's parents and grandparents? I, 26 female, was engaged for more than a year, but I called it off in October. My family and friends knew, but not a lot in my ex's family and friends knew. His parents had grown frustrated by the chaos in their family that to them seemed to follow the end of our engagement, and they and my ex's grandparents approached me to ask me why I called everything off. This is so messy and I feel dumb for not worrying about it, but I'll explain what happened and what I told them. So my ex's brother and his wife were trying to have a baby for a while and they failed. Not long after X and I got engaged, his brother and sister-in-law asked if my ex would donate sperm. They wanted to turkey baster it and act like his brother was the biological father, but they would be honest with the kid. My ex and I talked about it and I was fine with it. I helped him get the samples and his brother would come and collect them and take them to his wife. It took quite a few, but it worked. Only when she got pregnant, she started acting weird towards me. She was jealous, like clearly jealous. She made snarky comments towards me and glared at me when I'd see her. This was going on for a few weeks. When my ex and I were shown the scan photos, she looked pissed that he was hugging me while we looked. Then she came to the house when I was alone and accused me of coming between the brothers and wanting her child to grow up an only child. Like this was seriously out of nowhere. It made me feel off about things and I asked her why she was acting like a jealous girlfriend or mistress. She lost her crap and told me that I needed to back off. I confronted my ex and he played dumb. He said that he had no idea why she was behaving that way, but I didn't buy it, and then his brother asked me if I thought his wife was being weird with my ex, and I said yeah. We both confronted them and she asked why it mattered how she'd gotten pregnant, as long as they got the result they wanted. Wow, okay. Ex's brother almost attacked my ex. My ex was saying that it wasn't like that, and the turkey baster method wasn't working, and it was all about his brother and how nothing else happened, but in and out, he really thought we'd buy it. I walked away from him that night and I gave back my ring. My ex tried to fight for me to forgive him, but I felt foolish for even agreeing to begin with. I don't know what's going on with the brother and her. I didn't stay in touch, but I told my ex's parents and grandparents that my ex slept with his brother's wife and that it got messy because of the baby. They thanked me for my honesty and they apologized for asking. And then a few days later, my ex sent me a DM on Instagram and asked me why I had to mess with his family like that. And he said that I screwed his brother over more than he already had. Well, once again, not taking responsibility for their actions. I blocked him. It was the second account that I forgot about. But I feel bad if I highlighted what his brother was dealing with before he was ready to tell anybody. Am I the a-hole? Oh, this is too much. What did we just read? Oh, well, the turkey-baster method isn't working, so I guess we should do it the old-fashioned way. And for him to message you and say, why did you have to mess with his family like that? Bro, you were the one who messed up, not OP. The top comment says, not the a-hole. He kept a secret from you, which is never good. But this isn't hiding a Pokemon obsession or splurging on a gaming PC without asking. It's f***ing around on you and then lying about it. Leaving him was just being sane about things. But his family asked you and you answered. It wasn't your job to keep his secrets, especially since you're not a couple anymore. It's literally not your circus and not your monkeys. Yeah, he betrayed you. You don't owe him anything. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. You didn't owe him silence. His family approached you and he cheated on you with his brother's wife. What a piece of crap. Sounds like they deserve each other. I feel for your brother, but that's not your responsibility. And OP said, I agree, they really are perfect for each other. I'm not sure they'll ever realize how much they messed up either. The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. You didn't create the mess. You were just honest about it when asked. Your ex's family had the right to know what happened, and you gave them the truth. It's understandable that they might have been upset, but that's on them for asking. Your ex obviously didn't own up to the situation, and you were left holding the bag. It's not your responsibility to protect his family's reputation when they were the ones involved in the drama. You don't owe him anything, especially after everything that went down. If anybody's in the wrong here, it's your ex and his brother's wife. Yeah, I can't believe the stuff that we've read today. Like, oh, what's that? You want a sperm sample? Well, how about we do it this way? And also this comment, not the a-hole. You told the truth when asked, and they deserve to know why their family was in shambles. Your ex slept with his brother's wife. That's a bombshell that you didn't create. You just exposed it. It's not on you to protect them from the fallout of their own disastrous choices. His DM reeks of deflection, trying to blame you instead of owning the mess. Yeah, I can't believe these are real people. Okay, moving on to post number 7. Am I the a-hole for barely eating any of the cake my girlfriend made for my birthday and refusing to eat anything else she bakes until she apologizes? I've been with my current girlfriend for almost 3 years and we pretty much get along for most things, except when it comes to my mother. My mother is mentally slow. I don't know what else to call it since she grew up pretty rough, was never formally diagnosed, and had me at 13. Her being physically and emotionally younger made her a fun mum, but not very responsible. In any case, this is one of the main reasons my girlfriend feels uncomfortable around my mum, because she says that she's got no manners and can be rude, both of which can be true, but my mum doesn't do things intentionally. It's just how she was raised and it's hard to teach her new things. The second reason is that I spend a lot of money for my mum to live in an expensive facility and community so that she can be independent but still have some help. She thinks it's a waste of money, especially since she wants to be able to buy a big house in the future, and I refuse to pay for her medical insurance despite having the money. She's currently on a plan that she can't afford, which she brings up a lot in arguments. She's not my wife, so I don't want to commit to something like that yet, since I'm not sure how that would work if she ever decided to end the relationship, or if it increased to something that I'd rather not pay. I won't lie, I love my girlfriend, but she's not my wife, therefore not a priority, and I've tried proposing twice, and I've been turned down each time. Anyway, I feel like I derailed for a second, but I felt some context was important. She decided to make me a cake for my birthday this year. I was happy because she is a great baker, and even better at decorating, so I asked her for a chocolate sheet cake with canned frosting and rainbow sprinkles. She said that was fine, but kept on suggesting that I have something special and less cheap this year. My mum has made me this birthday cake every year since I was a child, but of course this year she couldn't, and I told her. But I told her I was sure that's what I wanted. No presents and no people over. When I woke up the morning of my birthday, she had me eat breakfast in the living room because the dining room and kitchen were a mess. I'm not sure if I believe that now, and got me up out of the house after lunch telling me that it still wasn't ready, and I couldn't say it because she also had a really small surprise as well. I come back an hour later as she asked, and when I open the door to pretty much everybody that we know, and even don't know well, except my mum, her parents are there, and they all leap out with those blow things. I tried to act happy, but to be honest, I didn't want anybody there at all. If it had only been our families, maybe that would have been nice, but I was secretly annoyed. Then when I saw the cake, it wasn't anything like what I asked for. It was 3 round lemon cream cakes, the naked fancy kind with flowers and berries that looked incredible, and I could tell it must have taken ages, but it's not what I wanted, and I'm pretty neutral about lemon desserts. Everybody brought gifts and I tried to pretend that I liked them, and I did, but in the moment I didn't feel like opening and reacting to gifts, so I feel like my reactions were underwhelming. Then when it was time to cut the cake, she gave me a big piece and I didn't even finish half of it. I wasn't in the mood. I lied and said that I was too full from eating all of her favorite foods. I'll admit that was a bit too blunt, especially since there was company, and she was a little short with me the rest rest of the party. Finally, my mum comes after everybody finished, and according to my girlfriend, she accidentally told her the wrong time. She brought me a single cupcake, just how I like it, as a gift because she couldn't make the cake this year. I was happy and I couldn't hide it. My girlfriend noticed and kind of gave my mum the stink eye, which is fine as long as she wasn't being rude, but then she took it a step further and just outright made a bad joke about how the cupcake was unique, just like my mum. She still likes dresses and 2 ponytails, and a few people even laughed. Fast forward to later, I'm eating my cupcake in bed, hoping to end the day on a good note. I didn't complain at all outside that one comment because I didn't want to seem too ungrateful, but then she says under her breath that of course I'd rather eat something that looks like it was made by a toddler than actual quality. That was the last straw for me. We got into a heated argument. I ended up sleeping on the couch on my own birthday. The next morning I made it clear that I wasn't going to eat any of her desserts until she apologizes. It's been 3 days and she told everybody that I hated the party, and now everybody is calling me ungrateful. Plus her family found out that I don't pay for her insurance, and right now things are running off tense and not tense between us. Am I the a-hole here? The top comment says, why are you with this woman? She refused your proposal twice, doesn't listen to what you want, and she's disrespectful towards your mother. And the response to that one says, just one of these things would be a reason to end it. She's also petty and passive aggressive. And the second top comment says, not the a-hole. So what are the positives about this partner who doesn't listen to you, is ableist about your mother with additional needs, is openly disrespectful to your mother in public, expects you to financially support them, but doesn't wish to marry you? Yeah, the consensus is definitely not the a-hole. And moving on to post number 8. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that she doesn't deserve our mum's attention and sympathy after finding out her fiance cheated? I, 26 female, have a younger sister, Bayla, 23 female, and we've had a tense relationship for the past 10 years. Back when I was 6 and Cher was 3, our dad, 47 male, cheated on our mum, 47 female, which destroyed the family. My mum was working hard in med school while also trying to parent me, and my dad was the type of man who was resentful that my mum had the audacity to find a way to continue school instead of dropping out and being a wife to him, and instead of talking to my mum became passive aggressive, would try to sabotage, and eventually started his affair with my stepmom Judy, 44 female, something my mum found out about after coming home and catching them in her bed. Oh, that's so awful. Bayla and I were really young, so my mum decided to not tell us the truth, and Judy used that to get in our good graces. I was always polite but distant, but Bayla was young enough for it to work, and it wasn't long before she started calling Judy mum, which really ticked off my mum, but Judy and my dad loved it. I found out the truth when I was 10, and I became a lot more cold and angry when I had to go to my dad's place. My mum tried to put me into therapy, but Judy and my paternal grandma didn't think it was needed, so my dad wouldn't consent to it, which my mum had to take him to court over. When Bayla was 13, she started getting on me about refusing to want to do anything with Judy for Mother's Day, as well as not helping convince our mum to share the day with Judy, since they were both our mums, and I snapped and I told her the truth. She didn't believe it at first, but when Judy's brother confirmed it, she did sulk about it for about a week, but then went back to being loving towards Judy. In her words, it was a long time ago. Cheating happens, you can't stop love, and that everything worked out in the end. Oh my god, what? She said that frequently to mum and started a campaign to try and force our mum to forgive dad and to accept Judy. The audacity. She actually said that she would be a bad mum if she hated our dad and Judy more than she could ever love her. To her credit, my mum did try, but Judy was just a passive-aggressive mean girl, and mum washed her hands of the situation. When it was time for Bayla's high school graduation, she gave her mum an ultimatum. Either sit next to Judy for the entire ceremony and pay for her and our dad's share of the bill for dinner, my mum would be going to pay for everybody else but them, or she won't be invited to her graduation at all. Our mum sat out the graduation and didn't attend the dinner. Judy made a post about how evil some mothers can be for not putting their child first, which Bayla liked and shared, and mum took back the car that she gave Bayla. It was still in her name. Our mum still paid for Bayla's college tuition, but she wouldn't pay for her room and board like she did for me, and accused our mum of favoritism. After that, Bayla and mum went very low contact, and that's how it's been for years. During this time, Bayla met, dated, and got engaged to Ethan, 26 male. She did send mum an invite, but I think that was just to get some money out of it, but unfortunately the engagement was off because Ethan ended up cheating, and Bayla found this out after going to the doctor and finding out that she caught something from him. Yeah, now I wonder how they feel about cheating. Bayla reached out to mum, but all she got was a "I'm sorry that you're going through this" text. Bayla was furious, but I told her given how she treated our mum and how she dismissed dad and Judy's actions, she should not expect much. Bayla, my dad, Judy, and some paternal relatives are calling me an a-hole, but am I? No! That was infuriating. The top comment says, not the a-hole. The forgiveness bus is a ride set up by people who do awful things and don't want long-term consequences. And the second top comment too, in her words, cheating happens. You can't stop love, I think I would have harshly reminded her of those words. Your sister can go cry to the cheating dad for sympathy. You and your mum are definitely not the a-holes here. P.S. I think your mum is an absolute star for going through studies, raising kids, and dealing with a cheater, plus the one that he cheated with. The comment below that says not the a-hole. Why is Baylor upset? If she can insist that your mum should forgive your dad and Judy, she should forgive Ethan and his affair partner, and attend their wedding and send a very expensive present, or pay for their wedding dinner. Yes, so unbelievably infuriating. I can't even imagine how it would feel to be a parent, and before I even say anything else, I know how common this is. Like, this actually happens a lot, but I can't imagine being a parent and my partner cheats on me, and one of your own children, like, finds a way to blame you for the cheating, backs up the cheating parent, and somehow is acting like it's your fault or it's no big deal. Stuff like that happens a surprising amount, and it blows my mind. Yeah, and like the comment below that said, not the a-hole. If it's not important that your father was cheating, it's not important that her fiance cheated. Yeah, I can't imagine the pain of walking in on the person that you love, cheating on you in your own bed, and then your own child says to you, oh, cheating happens, you can't stop love. Everything worked out in the end, acting like they did nothing wrong. This one is so bad. And of course, that's pretty much what all the comments are saying. Like, Baylor is a huge a-hole. This comment says, not the a-hole. Baylor's treatment of your mum over the years, particularly how she dismissed the pain caused by your dad and Judy's actions, has clearly had a lasting impact on their relationship. Given how she acted and the choices that she made, it's understandable that your mum's response to Baylor's engagement fallout would not be as supportive as she might have hoped. Yeah, of course. The comment below that says Baylor is the major a-hole in this case, and the response to that one says she seems to take after their father. The comment below that says, why is she so bitter? Cheating happens, you can't stop love. Throw back all of her lines into her face. And the comment below that one says, you and your mother are great people. The other members of your family are trash, and it's time to dispose the trash, not the a-hole. Okay, moving on to story number 9. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend, for getting drunk and telling our friends about my fetish, using a throwaway account for obvious reasons? Me, 29 male, and my girlfriend, 35 female, had been together for about 8 months. We have certainly had our ups and downs, but for the most part it was a good relationship. Most of the downs being when she has struggles with her mental health. She was in contention for a major promotion at work. She was very worked up about it until she told me that somebody slipped to her that she was going to get it. She was so excited. I've never seen her so happy. It was great. We agreed to meet our friends at our favorite bar after work the day that she was expecting to be officially offered her promotion. When I met her outside the bar, I could instantly tell something was wrong. She said that she didn't get the promotion. Somebody else did. A woman that she despises. It was really disappointing. I offered for us to just go home, but she insisted that we hang out with our friends. Quote unquote, she wanted to get drunk, and she did. She was barely even talking at first, just drinking. It was obvious to her friends something was wrong. Me and her started arguing at some point. It started over the wings me and her got. She was complaining that she didn't like them and how I didn't care what she wanted and didn't listen to her and all that. Eventually it struck a nerve and I told her she was drunk, acting like an ass, and she needed to go home. She got so pissed that she told all 5 of our friends about my fetish. I don't want to say exactly what she said, but I have a fart fetish, and she mocked me about it in front of everybody. Yeah, whatever, I like being farted on. It's embarrassing. I'm only mentioning it so people can understand how embarrassed I was, but it is what it is. I'm obviously insecure about it, and now all of our friends know. How am I supposed to hang out with any of them ever again? The next morning I broke up with her. She cried and begged me and said that she didn't remember anything from last night. It was hard, but I held my ground, and now I don't know. Maybe I overreacted. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with her after she was having a really bad day? A night that she can't even remember, apparently? The top comment, you'll find a gassy queen who respects you one day. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. Bad day or not, getting drunk and turning somebody's personal life into an open mic night is a deal breaker. Trust isn't something that you can Febreze away. And the comment below that says, not the a-hole. This wasn't an unintentional slip of tongue. She was angry and hurt, so she wanted to make you hurt. She did this on purpose. The comment below that one says, I can see why you were with her. Her attitude stinks. This comment says, you're not the fart hole. Okay, time for story number 10. Am I the a-hole for making my sister almost lose her job after I refused to babysit for her ever again, after I found out that she's been sleeping with her deadbeat ex, but not expecting him to help with his son? Am I the a-hole? My mum says I overreacted and that I'm being a huge a-hole, but I also feel so used. I, 24 female, have an older sister, 27 female, who has a 9-month-old son. She doesn't make enough to pay for daycare here, but makes too much to qualify for assistance, so me and my mum help her with her baby. My mum watches him Tuesday and Thursday, and I watch him Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm in grad school and and I take my classes online, so it has been a struggle to watch a baby and also be in my Zooms and do my work, but it is worth it since I love my nephew. We all live together, by the way. My sister's been a single mum from the beginning. He denies being the dad, sent her horrible messages, and is a deadbeat. He wasn't at the birth, not on the birth certificate, and hasn't seen his son ever. A complete deadbeat. She put him on child support, but he works under the table and doesn't pay anything because she says that he's unemployed, but has the money to live. To be honest, I feel like a single mum at this point with how much I help her, so it's disgusting to me with how big of a deadbeat he is. There are times when my mum's watching him and gets called into work and I have to watch him, even if I watched him the entire day before. My sister also works as a hotel manager and gets called in all the time to cover shifts, so there are times where it's 11 p.m. and she wakes me up to watch him so that she can go to work. I had no issue helping my sister until I found out that she was still sleeping with her ex, the same ex that denied and insulted her child and has never done anything for him. Right before my finals last semester, my sister woke me up at 11 p.m. to tell me that the night audit girl called out and she had to go cover for her. I had a huge proctored test the next day, but I agreed because my mum was working an overnight, so there was nobody else. He was up all night crying, so by the time she got back at 7 in the morning, I was exhausted, and I ended up not doing that well on my test. I was fine with this until a few days ago when I got home and overheard my sister gushing on the phone about having sex with a guy, and I was surprised since I didn't know she was seeing anybody, and I asked her who she was talking about. She looked so shocked that I was back and I overheard and she ignored me, but her friend on the phone said, "Oh, she doesn't know you've been f***ing Jake again? Jake's her deadbeat baby daddy." I was so shocked. My sister looked so guilty and hung up the phone and broke down crying, saying that she's been hanging out with her ex for the past 2 months, the deadbeat ex, the one that's a deadbeat, to her kid. I was disgusted. She told me that she just loves him so much and missed him. I asked her with how much she works, how the hell was she able to see him? And she told me that she would meet him at rooms at her job and lie to me and my mum about working. I asked her if the night she left before my test, was it a real shift or a fake one? And she said fake. That's when I lost it on her and I told her that she's disgusting. That wasn't the first assignment that I had to sacrifice time with because of her going to work at all hours of the day, but she knew this was an important final that I had in the morning and still lied about working just to go sleep with her deadbeat ex. I've never felt so disrespected. I told her that me and my mum have been bending backwards to be her baby daddy, since the actual one won't step up, and that her sleeping with him is not just a slap in the face to me and my mum, but to her son. Sleeping with an ex that did you wrong is one thing, but one that got you pregnant, abandoned you to take care of your child alone, and is a deadbeat is just pathetic. She said that she can't believe that I'm mad, and that it's her body and she can sleep with whoever she wants. I told her then she can ask him to watch his son since they seem to be on good terms, and that I will never watch her son again. If the father isn't expected to be a dad and is rewarded for it, why should I? I just can't wrap my mind around how a woman can be turned on by a man that's a deadbeat to her own child, but will give me and my mum attitude if we make plans because it can interfere with her childcare. I don't know if she thought that I was joking, but yesterday she came into my room since Friday is the day that I watch her son, and she placed him on my bed and walked out dressed to go to work. I picked him up and followed her, and I told her that she can take him to his father because I'm not watching him, not even for pay. She started crying, asking if I was serious, and I said I was very serious. She can message him to sleep with him, but she can't ask him to watch his child. According to her, he's unemployed, so surely he has the time. She said that he doesn't want to watch him, and I told her, oh well. She ended up leaving with him and brought him to her friend, but she got to work late and the regional manager was there and she got written up for being 30 minutes late. She told my mum, and they're both mad at me, and they've been giving me the silent treatment, but my mum says that she's disappointed in me, since no matter what, we need to support my nephew, and no matter my sister's choices, I shouldn't let it stop me from being a good aunt. Am I the a-hole? Am I really? No, OP, that's unbelievable. Yeah, the top comment, not the a-hole. Don't enable your sister. Great job. Yeah, you've done such a good job standing up for yourself here, OP. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. She lied to you to go f*** a deadbeat. She's 100% using you. You were right to shut it down. The comment below that one says, not the a-hole. She lied to you and made you do poorly on an exam. Who knows how many other times she's lied to you about having to work. She has no respect for you. I get your nephew is innocent. However, that doesn't give your sister the right to disrespect you. Do not enable her behavior. And this comment says, not the a-hole. But I hope for you that you'll be able to move out very soon. Okay, that's enough for today. What an amazing episode. I've got a wholesome meme to show you before you go. When you've had a bad day but you get a text from a friend that you haven't heard from in a while. Look at that. You've helped me find my smile. That is so cute. And so true too. Like, oh, thank you for messaging me. I really appreciate it. What a beautiful surprise. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you had a good time time today, and if you did, definitely like the video and subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day goes to VidGirl88. This whole video is me jumping between "aww" and "oh my god, get a priest." Yeah, I know, right? That comment is on the confession episode that we just did. That was such a ridiculous episode. Like, yeah, some of them were wholesome, some of them were terrifying. They were all so different. Thank you for the comment and thank you for the support, and I'll see you legends in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!